Thank you. Okay. Network is the issue now.
Hello, good morning, everyone. I'm excited to be here, and I have the house is full. Let me just put it that way. I have quite a number of beautiful and awesome ladies in the house, and I'm glad that you have the time to join us. Today, we are celebrating the International Women's Day 2025 anniversary. Yay! And we are so happy that the message has been going for the past 50 years, and quite a number of things are already changing, though not at the pace we are expecting. But then again, it's changing rapidly at an exponential rate. Today, it's all about International Women's Day. This year's theme is looking at a compelling theme for 2025, which is accelerate action, because it emphasizes the urgency of making faster, more effective strides towards gender, excuse me, towards gender equality. It resonates so well because progress on gender equality is too slow in areas like economic participation, political representation, and combating gender based violence, actually. And this is a call to move beyond the ineffective practice and implement a meaningful changes that positively impacts the female gender. Well, and the male too, because we have a gentleman among us this morning. Accelerate action also signals urgent and coordinated measures that are actually necessary to recover lost grounds and ensure women are not left behind. We all know the effect of COVID-19. Quite a number of economies are trying to, recover and grapple with inflation here and there, of which Nigeria, we too, we are facing it. So we don't want any woman to be left behind while these various economies are trying to recover. Also, it encourages activism, engagement at all levels, political, corporate, grassroots, motivating individuals, which is very crucial. Governments needs to be motivated as well, and most importantly, organizations need to be motivated to take a concrete action on how to move this decision to give gender equality a voice. From the topic we are discussing today, which is future ready women breaking barriers, transforming generations, we are taking a look at future women, or let me put it like future female. We all know future female breaks barriers, lead boldly, creates change, redefines narratives, transforms society for a better tomorrow, because when women win, we all win. There is no better time to actually discuss this, if you all agree with me, because this theme and topic, there's no better time to discuss it. Because I have here with me bold women and distinguished gentlemen leading in various fields and endeavors, from information technology, accounting, finance, business, agriculture, engineering, and the icing on the cake, artificial intelligence. I bet the viewers can't wait, because I can't. I welcome you all once again to this live conversation in celebration of the International Women's Day. It is part of the build-up of the upcoming Lagos Future Conference 2025, which is a gathering of futurists, leaders, youths to chart a path for the future and to ensure all, especially youths, are ready for the future as well. I am Mojisola Alabi of Digivation Network, organizers of Lagos Future Conference. The speakers here today are the creme de la creme of various industries, from Nigeria Engineering Society, the ACCA, Accounting Females, and wow, so many of them here. And I say, welcome and thank you for joining us. Say hello to the viewers, please.
Thank you for having us. It's my pleasure being here today. I just want to use this time to say thank you to the organizers for organizing such event towards women empowerment. It's a pleasure to be here. And to the remaining participants, I welcome you. Thank you for having me. Good morning, everyone.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. I'm happy to be here, and I look forward to a very faithful and exciting session today. There's no better way and better time to do this than now. Thank you for having us.
Okay, let me start with the introduction. I have beautiful ladies, awesome, powerful ladies. There's no better time to catch them right now because they are very busy set of people. I will start with Shulamite Ilebin. She's a distinguished consultant and control professional with over 25 years of experience in risk management and business transformation. She specializes in helping organizations mitigate risks and increase productivity through policy development, process improvement, and internal control. She's the head of internal control department of FSDH Merchant Bank Limited, Lagos, Nigeria. Prior to her role in internal control, Shulamite worked with commercial banks and other organizations in various capacities, including overseeing business and accounting operations, information technology control, internal auditing. She is renowned for her expertise in auditing and promoting self education and happiness. Um, this is awesome. This is awesome. Thank you for joining us. And the next is Ellen Omowumi Oduyemi. Omowumi Ellen Oduyemi is a visionary leader in agriculture celebrated for her groundbreaking contribution as tech lady farmer, an agro commodities professor or processor, sorry, and an agri-tech consultant. As a third generation farmer, she is close to a decade of experience in providing sustainable solutions to complex national agricultural problems. She's at the forefront of driving sustainable farming practices across Nigeria. We all know Nigeria needs that. Really, with the prestigious streamlining agricultural value chains and fostering economic growth. She is also an awardee of the Nigerian Export Promotion Council (NEPC) grant in 2021. Yay! Thank you for contributing to the agriculture sector. Yay to that and thumbs up to you. And next up is Ni Ola Adeyemi, a prominent figure in the intersection of the technology industry, She has a passion for innovation and commitment to excellence, and has significantly really contributed to literacy and technological landscape. She has established herself as a thought leader, blending her career expertise and over 2 decades in digital transformation, cybersecurity, IT governance, enterprise architecture, Scrum, Agile, ISO standards, product management. Wow, a whole lot of them, and artificial intelligence. As a member of the Forbes Technology Council, Lola joins an elite community of top technology executives, entrepreneurs, Technology Council. Lola also uh, enjoys her involvement with the council. She collaborates with fellow innovators to shape the future of technology and drive positive change on a global scale. Wow. Thank you, Lola. You are bringing the change over. As a CEO and co founder at Secure Ops Solutions LCC, she has played an instrumental role in the success and growth of several innovative enterprises. Thank you, Lola. Thank you. Well done. You have actually you have much more future forward. You've seen into the future. And we have Deborah John. Hello, Deborah John. Thank you for joining us. She is a passionate financial literacy advocate. Mm. I like money, and I know we all do. Currently, she's working with Meristem, a leading financial service provider. She plays an instrumental role in propelling more initiative. That's a Meristem orientation for rising entrepreneurs, a free platform designed to help youth learn about investment, entrepreneurship. Through this very initiative, Deborah is committed to empowering the next generation with the knowledge and tools to achieve financial independence and entrepreneurial success. Our dedication to financial education is breaking barriers and transforming lives, helping young people build a solid foundation for their future. Deborah, this is awesome. Thank you. Thank you. You are adding to the change, and really you are accelerating it. Next up, we have Engineer Tosin Ogumola, short ETO. He's an industrial engineer. A round of applause for him. He's the only guy in the house, as in he's brave, he's very brave. A project manager and leader with over 20 years of working experience. Work experience with top multinationals in manufacturing. He's a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, that's FNSC, a fellow of Nigeria Institute of Environmental Engineers, that's FNIEE, and PMI Certified Project Management, PMP, in good standing. Wow. He's currently a member of the council, the governing body of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, and an external board member of the Faculty of Engineering at Dimas University, Ede. Thank you, sir, for your time and for joining us. Next up, we have Chidera Ayanabechi. She's a seasoned professional with over 6 years in diverse experience in leadership, social and public relations and administration. She's currently serving as the general manager of Hyperspace Technologies Limited. Her expertise spans beyond strategic planning, team management, application of blockchain. Blockchain. I know quite a number of us will learn so much. Web3, wow. And also driving digital transformation and innovation across Africa. But most importantly, she's very, very passionate about fostering innovation, driving digital literacy across diverse communities. Once again, I welcome you all to the live show. Okay, my question first goes to Deborah. to Shunemai. Hello, Shunemai. Are you here with us? Are you here with us? Okay. While she's trying to get back to the stage. Okay, let me start off with Niniola. I hope I've been mispronouncing it. Niola or
Mihi,
Niniola.
Mihi Lola,
Correct me, please.
Mihi Lola. You've actually not been pronouncing it well. It's Nihi Lola. But it's okay you call me
Aha,
Lola.
aha.
It's okay you call me Lola.
Beautiful name. Okay. Okay, so let's get down to business. Lola, let me start with you. Why is it important to empower Nigerian women? Why should it be done now?
Thank you so much, Mojisola. And once again, I'm happy to be here. Um, I can tell you from statistics, right? I think in 2021, McKinsey did a research, and we had only 5% of um, CEOs that are female in Africa. So you can imagine the percentage of that 5% that are in Nigeria. And you can imagine how that drills down to empowering women. That means there's a huge gap, you know, when it comes to gender equality in many organizations. And it's so sad that this inclusion is still, hasn't increased. And there's need to ensure that that is being done now. There was also another research in, I think, 2022, where it was discovered that, between 2021 and 2022, we had just about 5.8% CEOs in Africa. And that shows that the number is not growing. We're already in 2025. I'm sure right now we don't even have up to 6%. So it's very, very important that we start having inclusion and we start recognizing the hard work of women, considering that women, are mothers, their wives, their daughters, and they still work so hard and even double as much as men work just to show that they're capable, and they can do much better. But we're not given the chance to, and I'm hoping that as we advocate for more inclusion, we'll have that opportunity to. Because once you put a woman, most times, if you look at the statistics, when you have women at the ends of affair or they're in leadership role, they tend to put some form of stability in the system. And I don't know, maybe that's the reason why there hasn't been a lot of women, inclusion, especially in Africa and in Nigeria. But I can tell you for free that if we have more women, and we encourage women and there's mentorship, things will get better. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much, Lola, for that insight on that. It's crucial, very crucial. Ellen, are you there? Can we have your response? Why do we
Yes,
need to
Ellen is
empower women?
here.
And why is it now that we need to do that?
Ellen is here. Is here.
Okay, while she's trying to adjust one or two things, um, Chidera,
Yes, can you hear
you
me?
there?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So I want to find out from you your perspective. Yeah. So I want to find out from you your perspective on this. A lot of women have been told you need to um, not show too much of yourself, just go with the flow, don't be too because when women are angry when they are passionate about what they are trying to pass across, they said they're angry, don't be the angry woman in the room. So how do you think a typical woman learning an emerging technology like artificial intelligence, how do you think she can go about it to actually fit in into the necessary skills and human skills for her to fit in into the emerging technology phase? Chidera.
Okay, thank you for the question. Before I go on, I'd just like to add that there are a couple people that are off stage. If you would like to add them to the stage, I think there are some people,
Not a
engineers.
problem. Just
Okay.
yeah, just go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you for that
Yeah, go
question.
ahead. Go ahead. Not a problem.
Yes,
Go
I
ahead.
can hear you. Thank you for that question. For me, I think artificial intelligence is a tool that everyone should be familiar with. Artificial intelligence, like we all know, is the fastest growing technology. And with the way it's evolving, with the way it's changing, it is very necessary for women to get on board to follow that train. And artificial intelligence, like you said, an emerging technology is a disruptive technology. We've seen it in different industries. We've seen it applied, integrated in across different industries. We've seen it in healthcare. We've seen it in HR. We've seen it in customer service management. So I think women basically upskilling and learning about some of these technologies around artificial intelligence is very key and very necessary for women to be able to step up to that gender gap in order to bridge the gender gap. Like you say, I'm picking up from what the first speaker said. She said we are underrepresented, and I think the underrepresentation is majorly as a result of the skill set, lack of skills, lack of education. So I think it is necessary for women, especially in the professional, whether in the professional setting or professional environment. I typically advise women to get familiar with emerging technologies. I advise women to upskill in their current field, whether in HR, whether in finance. We've seen artificial intelligence being applied even in the healthcare industry. So women having that skill would help us bridge the digital gap. So I don't think um, artificial intelligence is an area women should be wary of, because when you talk about tech, you find out that a lot of women are not necessarily they're not necessarily, would I say, confined in that space where they have that interest to learn, use technology tools. They have that interest to explore areas like artificial intelligence. We're talking about blockchain. So I think it is necessary that we upskill. It is necessary that we create programs such as this that we're having today. We have programs, we have training schools, we have what's it called? We have educational resources, we have technology resources to train women to adapt to the evolving landscape of artificial intelligence. So I would say upskilling, knowing the right tools to use in order to effectively boost or be productive at your current industry or your current field is very necessary in bridging that digital gap. Thank you. Can you hear
Thank you
me?
very much, Chidera, for that contribution. I know quite a number of ladies out there, young women, and as it is, I've been told that um, artificial intelligence is for everybody, whether you are old mama or young baby girl out there.
Of course.
Artificial intelligence is a very relative tool for everyone to use. Um, Shulamite, you back?
Yes, I've been at the backstage, and it's a pleasure to be back here. I'm here.
Great. Yeah. I would like to ask you this question, and we all of us, let me not separate it now. How can all of us, we all, take action for women in the society, especially in the accounting and business ecosystem? Because from Chidera's action, she's challenging every one of us. How can we take action? Let's start from you.
Thank you so much, Mujisola, for that question. Yeah, I'm especially very passionate about women, and their growth in the society, because most of the times we take for granted little things that can weigh a woman down. When we talk about barriers, these barriers are many and are affecting so many of our women in the society. So I think the starting point for me will be understanding women that I deal with, so that in my own area of jurisdiction, I can, contribute my quota. Now, what do I mean by understanding women? So many women today are weighed down with age barrier. They can't do what they need to do because the society is saying you are this age, you are that age, you are old, you are not getting younger, you need to, do the needful. If a woman is single, is a problem, you have to get married. If you are married, is a problem, you have to give birth to children. If you give birth to children, they're telling you your retirement is nearing. So many issues. And also, we also have other barriers, like barriers to good and quality education, empowerment for a woman, healthcare, entrepreneurship, leadership, as well as career advancement. These are different areas, just to mention a few. So the starting point for me is us understanding these barriers so that we can empathize, with women in our environment. Now, another point that is also very important, and I love the fact that you're tying it to accounting. You're very smart, tying it to accounting because I operate in that, in that ecosystem. Now, women need to be at the forefront in organization. When you talk of taking up
Okay.
accounting roles, there are also barriers to taking up accounting roles in the society. You see a woman not being able to match up to a man, even with the same experience, with the same, expertise. But when it comes to taking up C-suite roles, you see a woman being delegated to the background. So it is also very important that we understand it. Now, I would like to talk a little bit about understanding women that we work with and their need. Because we are in an era where there are different generations. Currently now, our main focus should be on Gen Zs. These Gen Zs, they are people that were born between the age, between 1997 and 2012. When we look at them in terms of age now, they are 28 years old and maybe to 12 years old. They think differently. So if we are to break down
Good.
barriers and we want to empower women, we need to understand this generation, because that is the generation that is taking the bull by the horn now. They are generation, that are brought up with, ease. They are the generation that are aware because it's an internet age and they were born during this internet age. They have access to social media, they have access to everything that they need. Now, to empower them, we must understand them. We have to bridge the gap between, these generational differences. I will not think, that a woman, but especially, we have to behave like me because our generations are not the same. So in the accounting space too, more women are invited to come on board. We see some roles where they ask particularly for a female role. So each of our responsibility is to put these women at ease. We must break down all these barriers, pardon me, all the barriers that are militating against their progress in the society. And it begins with each and every one of us individually. And we all have that responsibility. So let me stop for now because I can go on and on, in this space. Thank you for giving me the audience. Hello, Mojisola, are you there?
Thank you very much for your insight stuck with me. Charging women to be more in, because I think quite a number of women think that by the time they are being promoted, they go all sweaty all up with it. Like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Am I supposed to do better than Mr. Labaja that was there before? Or am I supposed to do like that other lady? I like the way you put it, that they need to also be self-aware of themselves, and also their leaders to understand them more. I know some men are getting jealous. Nobody understood me before they promoted me. But then again, that is one of those things. It's one of those things, but then again, it's not one of those things, if I must say, because if you don't, in general, if you don't understand your staffs, if you don't understand your human assets, really, you how will you be able to delegate? How will you be able to find roles that fit them, and for you to be able to capitalize on their skills, expertise, and what they are capable of? I appreciate your insight on that. Helen, Helen,
I'm here. Ellen is here. Ellen is here.
okay.
Am I audible, please?
Yeah, so as someone that's very passionate about finding women's place in the agricultural sector, and also while using information technology to modernize how we get involved in the sector, I want to find out from you, how can we take action to involve women?
Okay. Thank you for the question. So, for us to take action for the women, I will start with for us understanding what the needs are. I usually tell people that in agriculture, if you don't know what the problems are, you may not be able to solve it. So, some of the problems, some of the barriers is that women don't have access to land. When women have this, when people introduce land to women, they cannot really, uh, really take ownership of it. So, the women can break barrier if only they have the financial muscle to do so. If they have the financial muscle to do so, they will be able to break the barriers in agriculture. And for sustainable agriculture, we now have to start engaging. They say follow who no road. We now start to engage with different collaborations. whenever a woman wants to go into the agri space, you don't need to first start directly going to the farm. You first learn the rope from somebody who is already doing it in a form of mentorship. That way, we will accelerate our growth. Because if you start immediately, you will not be able to sustain 3 years, 5 years, which is like norm in agriculture. If you don't have somebody hand holding you, let's say, for example,
Okay, I think Ellen's side. Deborah, I hope you're there. Yeah. Oh, okay. So Deborah, I want to find out your perspective for women in the society. But how can this be done? I mean, we all like money. I like money. I know you like money. Even men like money more than women. We're up for conversation and argument in the comment section. Who likes money more, whether men or women? I want to find out from you, as somebody that is very vast in investment, being financial literate, being financial discipline is very different. To have access to the money and to be able to make the money work for you or grow it. So how do you think this can be done by, how can we take action for women in the society through investment and being financially literate and having financial discipline? Deborah.
Hello, good afternoon. Good day, everyone. I would like to say it's an honor to be with all of us today, celebrating International Women's Day. And it's also important to know that we are here to discuss, the giant strides that before us have made and how we can continue the work. So I believe that every one of us here everything we've been saying so far has been quite intelligent, and I've been able to draw knowledge from everything that everyone has had to say. But what I would have to say on financial literacy and how, present day generation women can make a change as regards, their finances. I'll be speaking as a financial literacy advocate again, like I said. So, future ready women breaking barriers and transforming generations. So when we bring up a topic like this, some of the names that comes to mind is Dr. Okonjo Iweala, Funmilayo Ransome Kuti, Folorunsho Alakija. But I would like to say that it's obvious that not every woman is going to be at the forefront. But it's important that we know that every woman has to be the best version of themselves. And I believe that I'm very passionate about the role that financial literacy plays in breaking down barriers, because independence is the key to transform, the lives of women and men alike, and it gives freedom and opportunity to every one of us. So how we can take actionable steps, I will start with saying investing in financial education. And just like my profile says, I work with more an orientation for rising entrepreneurs that teaches on investment and entrepreneurship. So I'm very excited and proud to say that over 56% of the enrollees on our financial literacy platform are women. So it shows that women are already taking charge, women are already taking the step on educating themselves. So one of the first actionable step, just like I said, is investing in financial education. And I believe there's a wealthy market out there available for every woman, every girl child to take advantage of. Um, just like I said, the more initiative, Jobberman has some, a few other, Volition Capital, a few other companies that I can mention. And also, another actionable step is I believe strongly that women of our present day generation have to learn to earn more. So gone are the days where you shy away from negotiating your salary or seeking higher paying opportunities. At some point, women were being, talked down if they wanted to leave a toxic environment or seek a higher paying job, and they appear to be greedy or too ambitious. So apart from investing in financial education, women also have to learn to earn more. And while you're investing in financial education, you find how you that's when you learn how to, create and stick to a budget. Majisola, you mentioned something about being financially literate and financially disciplined. So while you are investing in your financial education, you learn how to, create, stick to a budget, save, invest. So the third actionable step for me that I believe that women of present day generation should be taking in transforming the generation and their generation or our generation, and also breaking barriers, is sharing knowledge. I can't overemphasize it. It is very, very important for women and men alike in this present day generation to share knowledge. So when we learn things, something valuable, I mean, there are a lot of money making opportunities in the Nigerian stock markets, a lot of opportunities that are not being tapped into because there's a lack of knowledge. So as a woman, it's a challenge to you to make sure that every opportunity that you have access to, you are not holding it, because the future is collaboration. So the future is not a man standing on his own, but collaboration. And one of the speakers, I think Helen, mentioned something about mentorship. So for women to take actionable steps, I'm still speaking as a financial literacy advocate, because of course, just like he said, and like we all know, money is our economic power. Money is, what, gives us some sort of safety and security that allows us to chase our dreams or do whatsoever we are convenient doing. So seeking mentorship. So whether you are looking for guidance or offering it to others, mentorship is crucial for your individual growth and also for the community at large. So you know, we have to seek mentors. So not every woman is going to be a tech lady. Not every woman is going to be in the UN or UNESCO, but we have to seek mentorship in the fields that we desire, in the fields where we want to be great at. And also, it's more than I'm careful to say this because I think I've noticed that it is very, very possible that we begin to create another problem for ourselves when we begin to identify some certain career paths to be what is desirable. I choose to say that women can be successful at whatsoever they put their mind at. So seeking mentorship at that particular field would enable you to, grow in that field and be the best at it instead of struggling at something that you are just a 2/10 at. Another thing is teaching the next generation. So you asked the question much earlier, where you were saying that why is it important for women to be empowered? The most important reason why women should be empowered is to break the poverty cycle. When women are more educated, when women are more aware, when women are more aware of their potentials and what they can contribute, the ecosystem is more enriched. And women are not hoarders, women are nurturers. We pass this down to our children, we pass this down to those who are around us. So teaching it to the next generation is most important, is very important. I mean, as we are learning, as we are absorbing, we also, pass it down to the next generation. And another point I'd like to mention is building wealth with purpose. So I believe strongly that more financially, when we have more financially empowered women, when we have more financially successful women, we have more purpose driven women, we have more relaxed women, we have more fulfilled women. So while building wealth, which should also seek purpose. And I think those are the actionable steps I mentioned: investing in financial education, learning to earn more, creating and sticking to budgets, saving and investing, sharing knowledge, seeking mentorship, teaching the next generation, and also building wealth with purpose. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Deborah, for that insight and submission. Wow, wow, wow. That is awesome. That is great. I appreciate that. You and Ellen said something that is very crucial: collaboration. Than getting, an advice from somebody that has been there, that for you. There's nothing that is much better than it. When you get advice and perspective from somebody that has made that mistake before, that have seen it before, that has not, that has been there before, you can get to do it like this. So mentorship, I think, is one of the areas where a lot of women and young ladies are not paying attention to. Fine, upskill yourself. Fine, acquire the knowledge. Fine, you need the funding. On funding, we are still on money matter. So, Shule might please be on standby because we are still coming to you. Money matter is a serious issue. Because in my language they said money is the bicycle for mission. Let me try it that way. So these two things, I believe, adding my voice to that of Ellen's and Deborah, mentorship is very crucial. Quite a number of women feel it should be about competing and showcasing what I have the best. But I don't know why some women have not paid attention to this. Men don't actually compete. They'll just approach, bros, I noticed this. What do you think? Oh my God, oh, what is this? But we ladies like, we start peacocking like from nowhere. It it can't we can't be on the table, or we can't increase our number on the table if we think you have to bring someone down before you can be part of the table. So thank you very much, Ellen, and thank you very much, Deborah. And you also mentioned something on to educate, and of which Shule might mention too earlier. There's need to Chidera also mentioned it. We need to know more. Apart from being self-aware, we need to educate ourselves. That's understanding whichever industry you've chosen to, to go into. You need to understand what it takes to be an expert there. Thank you very much, everyone. Uh, Engineer Tosin, I'm still coming to you because you are the filling in this bread. You are the filling in this bread. You bring the spice to it. But before I get to you, Engineer Tosin, um, some people have raised some questions of which I want to read out, and I want to recognize one or two people that have been part of the conversation so far. And Dr. Roslyn Isimeto, thank you so much for joining. Tina Ewubo, thank you. Folarin Adewale, thank you. We appreciate you. Loveline Balogun, thank you for your time. Fumilola Omojola, thank you so much for being part of this conversation. Toby Adeleke, we cite you. Gabriel Nabex, thank you. Olufunke Elizabeth, thank you. Victor Opomulero, thank you for the support. We women you are adding the spice. You are not making it only women affair alone. Thank you for your time and being part of it. Festus Alawode, wow, we have men adding so much spice to this conversation today. Thank you very much for joining us. We have Eja Anna for joining. Thank you very much. Someone has a question. I just want the speakers to take note of it while you respond to it much later. It says, how can women beat, um, sorry, how can women better leverage their unique perspective and skills to drive innovation and leadership without being seen as being aggressive or being tagged because now woman? I feel you. I feel you. So please, speakers, just help us note your response so we can answer that much later. Now to Engineer Tosin. Engineer Tosin, are you still with us, please?
Yes, I am. I'm here. I'm very much here, madam, and I'm really glad being here. Can you hear me? The network has been quite
Thank you very
We can
unfortunate.
hear
much
you.
for your time.
All right. Thank you too for having me.
It shows we are Nigerians.
All right. So I wouldn't know if I have the floor. I mean, first and foremost is to
Okay,
sincerely.
Engineer Tosin, as an engineer and a member of, oh, okay.
You can please go ahead. You can please land on the question. Can you hear me, please?
How many female members do you have in your?
In the Nigerian Society of Engineers. Okay. Before going into that question, I would like to first appreciate the opportunity of being part of this. When I saw the flyer and seeing myself as the only male on the flyer, it actually gladdened my heart so much, and it really went to underscore what we call, some of us we call ourselves E for she. That we are proudly E for she, and then it also goes to show to our women folk that we have men that are very supportive of the growth and development of the professional woman, and we are very comfortable having strong men around. And then, I mean, going further, we want to use this opportunity also to say happy International Women's Day to every woman out there, particularly my co-panelist on this program. Now, for the Nigerian Society of Engineers, it's interesting also that that is one other constituency that shares the month of March, with the women. So just before we had the International Women's Day on the 8th of March, the 4th of March is actually the World Engineering Day, right? And then the Nigerian Society of Engineers that I now represent here, it's a platform that has effectively brought those two constituencies together. So it will be interesting for us to know that last year in 2024, we had the emergence of the first woman to lead the Nigerian Society of Engineers in its 65-year history, right? And that's the person of Engineer Margaret Aino Oguntala, fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, who is still the sitting president. So before going into the number of women that we have, in our society, I think it should, be a thing of great pride to every woman on this program and every woman out there that currently the number one engineer in Nigeria is a woman. And that also goes to, underscore the topic that we are, talking about today, that is, future ready women breaking the barrier. So now I'm bringing up somebody that has, done it, right? She has gone out there. She's the 34th president. So before her, we had 33 men, and she had now actually broken that barrier, created that opportunity for many more young women to take after her, and also even do more. Now, one good thing that the Nigerian Society has done, the Nigerian Society of Engineers, is that we are not just talking about it, we are actually walking the talk. So it will interest you to know that in the Nigerian Society of Engineers, we have an arm of the NSC that is called the APWEN. That is the Association of Professional Women Engineers in Nigeria, right? And that had been created as far back as 1984. It was created to ensure that even when you look back to the school, you get to an average engineering class and you see that ladies, girls, may not, account for upward of 5%. And it is those who have studied engineering that can come out and be practicing engineering, right? So, but now that body was created to ensure that we can encourage many more of our young girls to take into STEM: science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And that is what we eventually bring them into our fold, as engineers. So the Nigerian Society of Engineers is a body that is at the forefront of ensuring that women are heard, that women are actually able to hold their own out there in the professional space. So I am so proud of what the Nigerian Society of Engineers has been doing, to empower, not only our members, but also many more girls to take into STEM. And like I had said, it is why we have all gone out to support Engineer Margaret Aino Buntala to emerge as the first female president of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. So I think maybe building on that,
Thank
I
you
might
very
not.
much, sir.
Yes, in due course, I would like to say, because again, when we talk about the future is not static.
Please, my has been said so far. What are
Okay.
what are the biggest barriers preventing women from breaking into some vital and relevant fields in recent times, like IT, engineering, like you said? Some are still finding it difficult breaking into science as well. But funny enough, a lot of women don't even bother about arts anymore. And like Elena said, agriculture, a lot of men are finding it difficult to break into agriculture. These are the relevant fields in present times. So what are those biggest barriers preventing them from breaking into these fields from your perspective?
Okay, thank you very much. And I think one thing that readily comes to mind that I think is the biggest barrier is stereotypes. That is the biggest barrier. So you would say situations where, quote and unquote, people will say this is what's it called now, space for maybe a particular gender, and this is not looking. Some people will say, oh no, this is not looking feminine. So it is the stereotype, what the society has come to accept, and that is what we need through knowledge to begin to break. You understand? So, I mean, that is very one. So, societal stereotypes is one major barrier, that must be broken. But again, just like I was trying to make a point the other time, that the future is not static. So, just as we are speaking about a future today, we must realize that today is the future of the past, right? And then a situation where we now have women, just like I was speaking about the president of the NSC just now, it will interest us to know that the president of the Nigerian Institute of Architects, NIA, is also a woman. So we have had women now in the current space today, that is the future of yesterday, who had prepared themselves yesterday, and today they have broken those barriers. And that is so we have them to now learn from them how they remain very resilient. So the starting point, for young girls is, like I said, by way of knowledge, to ensure that we break those stereotypes. At the end of the day, just like we commonly say that whatever a man can do, a woman can do better. And that is not just to sweet talk. That is the truth because, again, as much as we understand balance, there is no way that we will not all still need ourselves, but we all have our strengths. And, when you look at, one of the speakers was speaking the other time about women being able to nurture. So these are some of the inbuilt, capacities that women have that actually made them, more, better suited, to do well. Even, when you talk about engineering, you talk of innovation, you are talking of creation, you are talking of nurturing. And these are, things that are natural to women. So, but like I said, because of those stereotypes, so they must come by way of knowledge and then advocacy. So it's part of what you are doing with this platform now. We must only now do more of this and make it a lot more institutional. I will want to build on what I heard from one of the former speakers, and it was one of the key points that was on my mind coming for this program, that mentorship is very important. And mentorship must be taken at the institutional level. You were also speaking about finance. When we do things as a community, it gives greater impact than when we come as individuals. Thank God for bodies like WinBiz, that is Women in Business and the likes. A number of what's it called now, strong women that have created such bodies. We must now engage through such bodies and many more. Those people that have broken that barrier, others coming behind them should not have it as difficult as they had it. And that is where their mentorship must come into play. And we must be intentional about engaging with them, through the institutions to pave the way and make it a lot easier for the, incoming generation. Also in the future that we are now looking at, to be able to. And the truth of the matter is that I was looking at one professor, the woman that is the first woman professor in Nigeria. I was reading the story yesterday, and she was like, if at her own time, when the odds are really against her, she could still pull it through. Things have become a lot better now with technology. So we all have that responsibility, both women and men, to ensure that, we make the world, particularly the professional world, better, easier, and more attractive, to our girls.
Thank you very much, sir, for that response. I have more questions coming in for the speakers. I hope you've noted the first question that another question is coming in right now. And the question is simply pay parity or pay gap. I'm sorry, let me see. Yeah, pay equity. The question is on promotion and getting pay equity. What is there an unconscious bias that women face in corporate spaces, especially excuse me, especially getting due promotions and pay equity? How can the pay gap between men and women in organizations be closed? Shulamite, I mentioned everybody is talking about money. All we have been saying is good, is very, most questions has been around money. So Shulamite, can you answer this? Let's start with you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mojisola, for that, for giving me the opportunity. And I want to start by saying that yes, I agree that there has been a lot of inequalities when it comes to pay, even for women in the workplaces. But I want women to take responsibilities. Yes, that may be like what most women will not want to hear, but I also will say that we shy away from a lot of things in the workplaces. If we are talking about equity, they said that he who wants equity must also come with a clean hands. So for us as women, we must know our value. I've been to so many interview panel whereby a man is, being recruited for the same role as a woman, and in the interview, a man will be demanding for twice as much pay as a woman. There's no organization today that will pay you, you know, like they will pay you so much difference from what you requested for. So I have had to even talk to women myself, and I tell them, please, it is important for you to know your value as a woman, so that in and also bring to the table, you know, what is expected of you. I see so many women today in the workplaces, when they are giving, a vital role, they come up with so many excuses. That's why I said I'm looking at it from a woman's perspective first. They come up with many excuses. I'm pregnant, I have children, I have a husband, I don't have time, I am sick. All these are not excuses, that are tenable for you, adding values in your place of work. So if we want to be recognized, we want competitive financial rewards, we want flexible, benefits to us, we ourselves must prove our value. That is the starting point. Now, having said that, now how can we now drive those values? How can we now drive equality, gender quality, rather than inequality that we see in most places today? Now, I now still take it back to women. If you find yourself in a position of authority, please encourage and support other women. We must encourage and support other women. We must say no to, lack of representative or representation for women, either on the board of organizations, in our own places of work, in our departments. I really love what Engineer Ogumola said, about female, a woman of substance currently being number one engineer in Nigeria. It was because she, first of all, sees herself being there. She knew she can do it. That was why she put herself forward, and she was being supported together. So each and every one of us must take the mantle. I hear things like, oh, it will take 300 years for women to be able to match up, for us to break the gap. But it is now our responsibilities as women to say, this is the time. This is the time for us. We are no waiting. You heard from the international, women team for this year saying that we should accelerate action. So we have to accelerate action. No waiting, no asking for permission. We act. So the change begins with us as women. We must act. We must say that we aren't waiting for any 300 years for us to take up our responsibilities. We must live, we must lead, we must create, we must change the world. Because Engineer Ogumola even attested to the fact that women have some, soft qualities that can aid promotion, that can aid performance in the corporate world and the world as a whole. So, right for equality begins with us. We must fight gender equality by advocating for ourselves, first of all, supporting others, and of course also encouraging men, to also support us. Women, we really, really have to live, and it's time for that real change. And we're up for that. So thank you. I hope I've been able to answer that question. Okay, when it comes to bridging that gap, because the person asked that, how can the pay gap between men and women in the organization be closed? I mentioned that briefly, that add value, offer value. What a man can do, a woman can even do better. So when you show in the workplaces that you can do better what a man is doing, then the issue of pay gap will not be there. Second thing is, we need to support ourselves. More enlightenment, more education, more women-led organization, more board members as women, all of this definitely we close the gap between women and men, you know, pay in the organization. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that submission. Lola, any thoughts on this?
Thank you very much. So I mean, I've listened to everyone, and it's interesting to know that we actually haven't added numbers to this conversation. And what do I mean? From my own perspective and in my own opinion, I think women are doing very great. I think we're pulling our weight, and I think we're not being noticed just because people are not considering themselves first as human beings before they consider themselves as a particular gender. If you know that you're a human being, that means you can do whatever another human being can do. That's when you stop thinking about you being female, and that's why you have issues, getting what you want to get. Of course, there's the imposter syndrome there, that, oh, am I good enough as a woman? Do I have what it takes? But just like I said, you're first a human being. You have the same capability, you have the same chances, the same opportunity as the next person. So that's you have to have that self-love for yourself to say, look, I can do whatever it takes, at this job, as long as I have the skills. No doubt, it's very important. I mean, I'm an advocate of continuous improvement. You need to improve yourself. You need to ensure that you're doing what it takes to get you to where you want to be, right? You can't just sit down and say, you know what, because I'm a woman, I'm in that pity party mode. I'm a soft girl. You know how the word is. But you need to say to yourself, I can do it. You have to have that I can do it passion, and be able to prove to anybody that, look, you're first a human being before being a female. You shouldn't also put yourself in a position where you'll be pitied all the time, or people would, want to treat you special just because you're a female. You should put yourself in that position of being strong, and you can actually achieve whatever you put your mind to achieve. So I hear people say, oh, how come the female are getting less pay when they go to jobs? It depends on how you negotiate. If you negotiate knowing that, you know what, I don't think I have so much responsibility, assuming the person is married. I don't have so much responsibility. I don't have to pay the rent and the bills and every other thing, so I'm okay with the money I'm going to be asking for. That's fine. But if you're ambitious and you know that, look, I also want to be rich, just like you said, Mojiswa, I want to make money, I want to be wealthy, then I think you should negotiate your salary, your pay, your benefits, just the way any other person would negotiate. And I'm sure no right thinking organization would want to say, you know what, I'm going to pay you less, even though the same person I'm hiring on the same role with you is getting more money. I'm sure they're going to pay you based on what you can agree and negotiate. They're not going to force that money to you. If you feel your worth is more than what they're offering, take a walk. Because you're a woman doesn't mean you can't take a walk. If you know your self-worth, then you stay back, or you take the job, or you look for another job. So being a woman is not a reason why you feel, oh, I'm not being well paid. And I understand the fact that people say, oh, because you come up to say, oh, you're sick, you have your menstrual cycle, you have your maternity leave and all of that, it doesn't make you less a woman. If you put in so much while you're active, while you're not pregnant, or even during pregnancy, while you're not on maternity leave, when you put so much capacity in your job, or you work effectively, I'm sure when you're away from the job, your employee, or your employer, or your bosses would understand, that yes, while this person was around, or when this person was around, this person had, put in a lot of effort in the job or in the task. And that won't give your boss or your employer the reason to say, I'm not going to promote you. You would only not get promoted if you're not effective at your work. It's either you're a guy or you're a lady. You don't get promoted if you're not effective, if you're not productive. So it's not a fact that, oh, it's because I'm female, it's because I've gone on maternity leave, that's why I'm not being protected. I mean, if you have cases like that, bring them up, speak up. That's why we have social media. Let people hear your voice. If you think you're being sidelined, or you're being victimized, or you're being treated badly or poorly because you have your reasons and you think it's because you're a female, why not bring it up? But I'll tell you for free that most female work hard, and if you work hard and your work shows for it, I'm sure you will get your right remuneration, and you also get your right promotion when it's due. So for me, I think women are doing excellently well, especially in STEM. I'm a certified coach. I'm a certified mentor, and I've mentored quite a number. I have a lot of mentees. I've lost count, and most of them are female. They just want to hear, they just want to learn. A lot of them are even coming from outside tech. They want to come into tech, and they're asking for how to get into it. And they're doing so much, they're pulling their weight. And the numbers for me, yes, it's increasing, but we're not there yet. I'm hoping there'll be a time where we'll have like 70%, workforce that are female, and maybe 30% that are male, and the male will start running, to catch up with us. But I need us to have that mindset that because we are female doesn't mean that we're less human. We're first human before our gender. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Lola, for that submission. Chidera, do you have a different perspective to this?
I'd like to add to that, to what some of the speakers have said so far, in terms of first identifying, your purpose, what you want to do in your profession, how you want to make an impact in your profession. So I want to add that intentionality is important. You have to be aware about, what you need to do to get to where you want to get to. So first, you need to be intentional, and intentionality also leads to, like, when you have confidence, it allows you, take up the role that you are currently on effectively. And I always say technology is a tool, it's a leverage. So a lot of women, I feel, should be more inclined technologically. We have so many opportunities coming up in the STEM area, where you have opportunities in digital marketing, you have opportunities like content creation. There are opportunities in that area. One of the speakers spoke about stereotypes, about certain jobs not seen as fit for women. Women shouldn't feel like there's certain jobs or certain roles that they can't fit into, especially if it's in tech, because we know that the world is evolving with tech. So everything that is literally going to be, so to say, in vogue or relevant is going to be positioned around technology. So more women need to incline themselves with technological skills. Once you have the skills, you have the confidence that, you have the skills, and you have the confidence that you're able to perform the task that is required. Then I don't see any reason why there should be any limitation. So, in order to prove ourselves as women, we need to upskill. Like I said, education, use technology as a leverage, use technology as a tool to kind of stand you out from the other person. Yes, a lot of people are fearing that artificial intelligence or technology would take their jobs. I don't think the focus should be on this technology is taking our jobs. The focus should rather be on how can we use these technologies to upskill? How can we do better with these technologies? And with the barriers and challenges that women face, I think technology will actually help us become more productive. There are certain tasks that require um, you're required to do that task for like a week. Sometimes the task would stretch to 2 weeks, several weeks. With technology, you can do those tasks in 30 minutes, in 10 minutes, and then you have time to deal with other roles or other tasks that you have. So using technology as an enabler, as a leveler, is very important. Upskilling, there's so many areas where women can diversify. We talk about the financial gap between men and women. I think women should be more open to diversifying their options in terms of what they do in order to make money. There are certain areas that technology now allows you to become like more like a freelancer. You can do some remote jobs to make money on the side. So that also allows women to become more financially prudent, or more financially dependent. So there are opportunities that technology um, um, has positioned itself. And I think with the right education, with the right tools, we also spoke about collaborating. It is very, very, I don't think we really talk much about collaborating as women. As women, I think I have seen, I've analyzed a lot of things, a lot of opportunities that men are open to, and the same opportunities that women are open to. And I've realized that it's majorly because a lot of women don't really come together to collaborate. So we don't have that clout, so to say. So it would do us good to organize teaching forums, educational forums, programs where women can come together and learn, acquire these tech skills, because the truth is, whatever industry you are in, be it agriculture, be it health, be it finance, there is a role of technology in that field. Technology is being infused, it's being leveraged in every industry you have going on, because right now we are in the digital age. And like I said, the reports of new jobs coming up from the tech sector. So a lot of women need to take that opportunity as well. How do you come into this field? How do you come into this industry? Coming into the industry, you have to know certain things. You have to be equipped with certain skills. So first of all, you need to find out how you can acquire those skills, and how you can use those skills also to solve problems in your organization, solve problems in your environment. And I think that way, a lot more women will be recognized through the work that we're doing, through the influence, the impact that we're making in whatever field we are in. So I think that's also very important for women to adapt in their daily profession or in their daily lives. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Deborah, do you have any addition to this so that we can wrap up?
Okay, mine is not more of an addition, it's a summary. So we all have said a lot. So to be very concise, for us to close the paying gaps amongst men and women in working spaces is knowing your industry, offering value, knowing your worth, negotiate your salary, seek higher paying opportunities, give your best when you get the chance, and also collaborate. That's all I have to say on that. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay, great. So everyone has said quite a lot. From Ellen, she emphasized on the role of women in agriculture, issues, breaking into that space. And when some do, sustaining being in the space. And one of the challenges is funding, still money. And I love what Shulemite Lebi said, that equity begins with women. Very true. We need to look inwards. This was what started the equation, the conversation. We need to as women, we need to first of all have a self development, and that goes further to the equality begins with us. Um, Chidera added something that is very keen to me. She said something about beyond collaboration, skill up to meet the demand of the industry is also crucial. Thank you very much for all these inputs, because if you want more money, give that value. And I appreciate how Lolatu made that mention that more money, you need to add more value or create more value, so that even if you're on the negotiating table, this I put this, and this is up, this happened because I did this, and able to what can bring in the value to women, and just sit at the table. I don't agree with that. The table is the table. Yeah, the table is the table. Thank you so much, viewers. We have people joined the conversation. Joma Achinike, thank you very much for joining us and for your comment. You said we are first humans before. Thank you for joining, and thank you for your time as well. We have Akintunde Father say, thank you for your time. Thank you for. We have been armed with knowledge. We have been challenged to take action, and how to take the action and what steps we need to take in order to be able to successfully and effectively take this action. But before we go, I don't know if Engineer Tosin can spare us one of Engineer
All right. Okay. Yes, I was muted. All right. Thank you very
Tosin
much.
Mola. Are you still there?
Yes, I am here. Can you hear me, please? I can hear you from my hand. So,
Okay.
again, all right, for me, I want to appreciate all the panelists
Okay.
and the
So
very,
my the last question of which I want you to be the one to wrap up. My question to you is this. Is a wrap up about the other speaking pay, and also they've added on how important collaboration is also crucial. Self development, to be a financial discipline is also, even when you advise, we've learned quite a lot. But my question to you, Engineer Tosin, is this: while all this has been said, has been done, can we really say the society, especially the Nigerian society, is truly ready, that is well versed, well knowledged, financially independent, Is Nigerian society ready for this? Because that's where the future is going. Your response in conclusion.
All right, thank you very much, madam. And just before again I go, because I think I've not really had enough time so to speak. So before I go into that, I mean to finalize on that question, I want to please urge that it will serve us no purpose to have just done the talking today. I would like from this very program that we draw up an action plan that okay, from the event of digivation, what are we going to do? You understand? You have done very well in being able to elevate the discourse, but like I had actually talked about the other time, institutionalizing and then taking action alongside the institutions that can support with this to enlist the support of those who have gone ahead for mentorship. A whole lot is being done, but we cannot do enough. There's nothing that we will do that it will not be that we are adding to it, and we will only be able to open up a lot more space. Now, talking about the society being ready for this, again, it is just not about the society. I think the model that will work here will be that of this guy that created Apple. It is not about just gauging what the society wants and I give to them. It is about you creating something that the society needs, and then you create it, and before you know it, they begin to realize we need it. Like somebody also said, one of our fathers, he said, it is only a fool that would doubt proofs. So when we have women that are ready, the society will have no choice. So it is just for us to continue to encourage women. Like you have said, you go for skills development, you add value to yourself, you remain undaunted, remain resilient. You don't, you like we said, you will not, how best do we put it now, that you do not accept no for an answer, you go all out. You understand? Then in doing that, we connect with ourselves. That is power in community. We continue to create platforms. Like I spoke about Uppoint the other time. If you see a number of our student members, our graduate members, it is one thing for you to want to do something, but when the platform is not there, it limits, the extent you can go. And that's why it's important to take more action, accelerate more action in creating more platforms, for girls to be properly guided and, go all out for it. By the time the women get a lot stronger, the society will only realize that it is now the better for it. So I will want women not to be discouraged or to be taken apart. I mean, is society ready for an independent, financially independent woman, a skilled woman? The society will have no, because at the end of the day, everybody wants value. So if it gets to a point that they see that this is the person that can give the value, every other thing becomes secondary. So it is even the society that will now have to align that, okay, we understand at some point you will have to go for maternity leave. Can we adjust our program to fit into yours because we need you, you are valuable with. So it is not about what they want, it's about what we want, for the women folk, and then we'll become undaunted, become resilient, go all out for it, and then the society will align.
Thank you very much, Engineer Tosin Ogumola, for that concluding submission. You've heard him. The society, we have no choice once the female gender is ready. And quite a number of our speakers have challenged the female folk here today. You need to be ready. And there's one thing that is being said about luck. Luck is when opportunity meets readiness. That readiness is what quite a number of our speakers today have challenged the female folk, that you need to position yourself, you need to be ready. And quite a number of things are required for you to have to say, okay, now the opportunity is here. Am I ready to grasp it? Because at the end of the day, a lot will change in the very near future. Already changing. Just like Chidera said, artificial intelligence knows no age, does not even know your gender. It requires of what you put in, what you get out, and what you need to submit. Thank you so much to all our viewers that joined us. Thank you. How I wish everybody can mention where they came in. Only one person here in the comment section said they came in from Cameroon. Thank you very much for joining us. I know the time difference might have affected some, but I'm glad at least some other parts of Africa was able to join in this conversation. I've learned so much. I don't know about you. It's a very rich conversation, and it's a good one. And I'm so happy I have like the financial experts here just breaking things down, letting us know that it's not when you hear million and you think, oh, it's big money. No, it's not big money. Not until you invest some and you make it work for you. You work for money, but you get to a stage where you need money to also work for you in return. Thank you so much, Engineer Tosin Ogumola, for your input by challenging us, adding your voice to the other female speakers on the panel. Thank you for your time and for your patience too. And for your message. We heard you. We heard you. We will ensure all of us are ready for the future and equipped for the future, because you said it, the society will not have a choice once we are ready. Once again, I'm Mojisola Alabi of Digivation Network, organizers of Lagos Future Conference. Some of this conversation will continue at Lagos Future Conference, May 20th to 21st at Oriental Hotel in Lagos, May this year, packed with insightful conversations, delving deeper into the humanity aspect of how the future can benefit all of us and how it rests so much on the shoulders of the youth, because we are saying the future is here, but who is going to be positioned for the future is the youth. I mean, somebody that is that is 60 years old now, I don't know what they can add to the far future by except by contributing to equipping the youth now. Thank you so much once again. And from the and we say a big thank you to the speakers for those tips, those insights, those challenges you've shared, and how you have charged all of us, including the young men too. It's not only the women that is not only the women is facing it from the society. Young men too are facing it. So thank you for making this conversation rolling, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye from here.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Bye,
Thank you
everyone.
so very
Yeah.
much for having
Bye
us.
bye.
Having us.
Bye.
Regards
Thank
to
you for
everyone.
having me.
Very-
Bye.
Congratulations once again on the 2025 IWD.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank
All
you,
right, bye
everyone.
everyone.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.